Now to Ukraine. Amid a stunning shakeup within President Volodymyr Zelensky's military leadership, we've now learned after more than a year of fighting, he is replacing his defense minister. Our foreign correspondent Britt Clennett actually sat down for an exclusive interview with Ukraine's First Lady. Britt joins us now from Kyiv. So, Britt, the First Lady actually hosting a summit on mental health. Tell us more.
That's right. First Lady Zelenska is hosting people from all around the world, including the U.S.'s very own former First Lady and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. She'll also be here. And the focus, as you say, is on mental health, to really emphasize that this war is not just about physical scars, but the mental scars, the trail of mental destruction left by this war. And that's something we discussed at length. She said when it comes to soldiers and men, sometimes there's a stigma around men asking for help, but thankfully that is changing. Now, another thing she brought up is this idea of Ukraine fatigue. I asked her if she was worried about the world turning away from Ukraine, and this is what she had to say. Take a listen.
People talk about Ukraine fatigue. This is the topic of our existence. We can't stop fighting for ourselves. So my message is please don't stop to help us fighting.
Please don't stop us from helping us to stop the fighting. Now, look, this is something that we hear time and time again. Hear people telling us, you know, is the world actually listening and really wanting attention to stay on Ukraine, saying that this is a war against good and evil and that Russia won't stop with Ukraine. That's the message we hear time and time again. Kira?
And Britt, it's also back to school for so many students there. You spoke to some of them about what they're thinking about as this new year gets underway.
It is back to school here, but of course it's bittersweet. You know, UNICEF said that only 1/3 of students are actually going back to classrooms. The rest will be online learning. That's expensive, especially if there are more children in one household. Imagine paying for 3 tablets. Electricity is not always constant. As we know, over winter there were attacks on the electricity grid. So for them, it is creating a lot of problems. But even for the kids who are going back to classrooms, in and out of bunkers, there can be 3-4 sirens in a day sometimes in cities. So for them too, there are problems, but there are these kind of makeshift classrooms set up in bunkers across the country. We went to one here in Kyiv and spoke to some kids there. Here's what they had to say.
Online study easier, but there it's more fun and like you understand more when you study in school.
You understand more when you're actually there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, you understand more when you're actually there. I mean, it makes sense. They talk about productivity and not just the effects that it might have on these children, but the long-term effects. These kids will be involved in rebuilding the country, so it creates a lot of problems for this country going forward. Kira?
And what about the latest on the war effort now? I know you had a chance to talk about that as well.
That's right. So the Deputy Prime Minister, he said that troops have advanced 2 miles in the direction of Bakhmut. We do know, and this is something that White House spokesperson John Kirby has said a few days ago, that there have been kind of incremental gains. They've pushed through that first line of defence of 3, and that first line is said to be probably the most fortified. The ultimate goal here is to split Russia's land bridge to Crimea, and they are hoping that these new depleted uranium shipments, these munitions, will be able to help them in their aim, that they'll be able to pierce through these armoured vehicles such as tanks used in tandem with those Abrams tanks, which will be on the battlefield soon.
All right, Britt Clennett for us there in Kyiv. Britt, thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.